Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Our family.
Anyone Good?
Day 53.
Anyone Good, Michael, with your ding notifications?
It's Nancy Johnson.
Oh, come on, Nancy. Pay attention. We're doing a show right now. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Day 3 of the 2019 D23 Expo. Craig here, alongside with Michael Bowling.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Rhino Clavin.
There.
Hard at work still. And then Tom Bell on the
Hey.
corner over there. And this
Nobody
is...
puts Tom in the corner.
Well, in this situation, I guess none of us are really in the corner.
No.
You're just in the corner
Okay.
of...
Life.
We're both in the
Life.
corner, I guess, in that situation, yeah. No, so this is our final live stream, I believe, for this entire event. So this is the Big Daddy. This is the one you've been waiting for. I apologize that it has taken a little while to get this out there today. I know you guys are eagerly anticipating all
Our
of
expert opinions.
Yes, our opinions on it, because let's be honest, we could have went live the second this came out, or the second after we were finished with this, because basically everyone was following along at home anyways. I don't think there wasn't anyone who was just sitting there like, I'm not going to pay attention to anything until I can actually hear what the Diz Unplugged people have to say. I want to believe that's the case, but I'm also a very realistic person, and I know that's not the case. And yeah, we've been hard at work the past couple hours right now since that panel ended, trying to get all the videos up from it, and I would say in the next couple, probably minutes.
I'm just putting the thumbnails in some final videos.
Just putting the thumbnails on final videos, and then they're all up there. So at that point, you can basically watch pretty much the entire panel. About the only thing that I just realized I forgot I didn't do was the entire panel started out with this awesome Disney Park sizzle reel, and by awesome I mean it showed a lot of stuff from Disney parks that I don't think the average person cares about, and then parts of Rise of the Resistance that if they are accurate to what
Goosebumps.
Rise of the Resistance will actually be, then this could potentially be the best attraction ever.
Yeah.
Yes, this will draw people to Galaxy's Edge.
Absolutely. And so right here
January
before,
27th. Yeah.
hey, no.
Hey.
Hollywood Studios,
I know,
December
okay.
5th, Walt Disney's birthday present, Rise of the Resistance. But no, seriously, it's...
Still gonna go with that, okay.
We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about here. Before we get started, I know some of the earlier live streams that we did earlier in the weekend and such, we tried to include photos and those resources in there to kind of liven this up a little bit. Just because of the turnaround in this case, there was just way too much concept artwork and stuff to put in here and still get this going at a reasonable hour, plus give us time to go back in and finish up the last of the work we have to do. So we're not really going to be showing off the concept artwork and such that you saw today. It's all out there if you need to see anything, like I said, you can head to youtube.com/wdwinfo, find it all. disneyinfo.com, it's all there too. All the stories are right there with this.
I just learned something.
Yeah?
There's a maximum number of stories I think you can have on Instagram before it starts deleting the ones in front of it.
That is true, yes.
Yes, because
we've run into that before.
our D23 feed is now in the middle of it. It's at the Epcot part of it.
That is why you have to add them to the...
I didn't do them yet.
Okay.
I was going to go back and
Well,
do it.
you'll go back
Great.
and do it, so it's fine. It's just extra work for you.
Wonderful.
But yeah, so this is going to be more us just sitting here and analyzing the panel presentation, everything that we saw in there, and then if you tune into at least the Walt Disney World Edition podcast on Tuesday, we'll have a little bit more for you in terms of our normal production values that we put into it, and going over the stuff that was discussed, at least on the Walt Disney World side. Disneyland, we'll probably try to throw together a little bit of an episode this week, just with the couple announcements that we saw in there. But enough of that. That's all out of the way. Let's get to the real meat and bones in this situation.
I think you're thinking of potatoes.
That's it, meat and potatoes. Let's get into the real good
There's
stuff.
bones in some cuts of meat, though.
There you go. See, I was right, Rhino. You were wrong. Okay, so let's go over this. So we already mentioned the sizzle clip and how awesome Rise of the Resistance looked. And beyond that, should we just jump into the first thing that we talked about?
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else to say.
Well, Bob Chapek came out, the president of Disney Parks, experiences and products. And the one big thing they did throughout this, there was a theme, was...
Yep.
Oh, and you got me
Apologize.
on my ding.
Yeah, I did. That was worse. It said that my audio was muted, so that's a mistake.
Anyway,
Okay.
the big thing throughout all of this was always tying everything back to Walt, his vision for the parks, places where his stories come to life in amazing ways. What really griped me, there's many things that gripe me. One of the things that really griped me when we get into the Epcot thing was how this was his vision, and they're going to have Dreamer's Point, and blah, blah, blah. And Walt looking out at his dream. That was not his dream. And but they were always trying, whatever they did, they were trying to connect it back to Walt, and it got to be a stretch at times, especially with what they're doing to Epcot.
Yes, and we will definitely get to Epcot when we get there, but I believe things actually kicked off sort of in the Disneyland realm,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And that was by starting off by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Was that the
that the
parade?
first?
Well,
Parade
Jordan
The parade,
Fisher,
sorry.
yeah.
Right, that's right.
They talked about the Main Street Electrical Parade, how they brought it back, and how much we love it, and how we all love a parade. So we are going to get a new parade, and it's Magic Happens, and it's going to be it
Speaking
looks
of phoning
actually
in,
cool.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that logo is awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
Go
all
look it up.
it's all pastels and stuff. It looks very watercolory and pastels, I think.
it is. I think it's just more the ridiculousness of it. I mean, of course, there's a very famous
Magic
saying
happens.
that ends with
Yeah.
happens, and
Yeah.
it's typically not magic that's
No.
put before it. So
I think Forrest Gump. came
Yeah,
up with
and
it.
it is supposed to be celebrating the awe-inspiring characters. Oh, the word inspire you're going to hear a lot throughout this too. And storytelling. Storytelling is a thread throughout everything that they're doing. And so because Walt was a
Guests want more
storyteller.
stories.
Yes. So anyway,
Stories they're
it's-
familiar with.
okay, so even before we talk about get into the parade here, you guys seem to just really hate this panel.
I thought they went overboard in trying to say, see, everything we're doing is the way Walt
It's-
would have wanted it.
Well,
It's all
or
Walt's
due to guest
vision.
demand,
Yes.
guests want more stories, more family
They want
entertainment.
more Disney.
things
they
they're
want,
familiar with.
They want more interactiveness. They want more, and there were people behind us saying, "We do."
Yeah, but we're Disney fans. We're not
Yeah,
the consumer
exactly.
market.
You're
And
right.
I absolutely think that the consumer market is walking in and saying, when they go into Journey into Imagination, they're saying, what the heck is
Yeah.
this stupid purple
Yeah.
dragon?
Yeah.
Where are Disney
Where's Mickey?
characters
Yeah.
that I know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying there is some truth in it. It's hard for the biggest Disney fan convention,
Right.
though, to sit there and criticize some of those things because they are, in a sense, true, just not for the audience that it was being
Right,
presented
yeah,
to.
yeah.
So I will agree on that point. It's very Bob Chapek shouldn't be throwing that to us. I mean,
No,
if
no,
that
no.
would have been live streaming to the entire world,
Yeah.
an official Disney live stream going out there, and that was going to all the stockholders and shareholders, then I totally get him putting the PR spin on it. But at least he gave us later on in the presentation. He made one reference to the fans complaining over the lack of shade around the
Yeah.
park. So heck,
Yeah.
he clearly listens sometimes.
So what are we getting? Moana, Coco, right?
What?
In the parade?
Coco, Sleeping
Yes.
Beauty,
Trying to turn it back to the parade. Sorry.
Mickey Mouse and the gang.
Magic happens.
Yeah, and there's going to be a new score and song, and Todrick Hall is going to be a part of it. I'm only familiar with his Disney parody
No,
work.
he's not going to be a part of it. I think he.
co-producing
in the
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
co-producing.
yeah. Yeah. Don't look for him on a daily appearance there.
No, sorry, I thought I said that. But anyway, and it debuts.
I like
You
the
never
idea of
know.
that.
It debuts this spring, and then they had a big dance production with Jordan Fisher performing the theme song "Magic Happens." What do y'all think of that song?
I actually really liked it.
It was horribly balanced.
Oh,
Well,
audio wise?
Yeah.
Oh,
couldn't
that's
hear-
fine.
audio-wise, it was a complete mess
Yeah.
in there. It's
You couldn't hear him.
yeah, you could when
I
he
saw him
started
moving his
singing,
mouth, yeah.
and then after that, it just kind of faded away. No, it's I don't know. It seemed
It's a very
upbeat.
parade song.
It's
Yeah,
also
it is.
Yeah.
it's once we see it in the parade, it's gonna be like it's gonna be
Disney
completely
voices,
different.
It
Yeah,
has a good beat, and we will get
Easy
to
to march
enjoy
to.
it over and over and over again as it rumbles down Main Street and all that. I keep
For the
wondering,
next
though,
30
whatever
years.
happened to Paint the Night? Where's
I mean,
where's
but this
that
is
rolling to?
This is a daytime
Yeah, it's a
parade,
really
though.
parade.
So
Yeah.
I mean, Paint the Night. I think it's still going to be on its semi-annual regular
Yeah, I hope
basis.
so.
And
I
I,
hope so.
I'm not all that excited about it. But
I am. I like the character parades.
Yeah,
So I'm looking
it's-
forward to it.
You know, it's definitely something that was needed. I will miss sensational,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah, I
highly
do love
optimistic.
Sensational.
But so then, after Magic happens, then am I correct that it went to?
Runaway
Yes,
Railway.
Runaway
because,
Railway?
As they said, it was all started by a mouse. So
Yeah.
they talked about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and it's we already know it's going to be in Toontown, but they showed the exterior.
Yes. And the El Capitan. So on on obviously on the Walt Disney World side, we have ours in the Chinese theater, but yours is going to be in the El Capitan.
Because
which
it's
I
in
think
Toontown,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, and we got to see some of the first shots inside the attraction from the Walt Disney World version, but they're going to be replicas.
Yeah.
What do you think about those two little images that they showed off?
I don't remember what they were.
Well,
You don't
and they
remember?
also,
It was the
they also said that the
Imagineers,
queue's
like-
going to be different in
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Disney.
yeah. I remember
Yeah.
the queue.
Yeah, they
That
showed
looked different.
was the queue the Disneyland one?
The
Yes.
Disneyland
Yes.
one because there's going to be props from the
Yeah.
Perfect Picnic
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that, which is a short. I think that it's supposed to be showing in the El Capitan.
Yes, and then that's the one that's going to be premiering. But they showed just briefly, it was an Imagineer sitting and working.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Inside the,
yeah.
It was
It
very
looks-
difficult to see, but it looked literally like they took
Yeah, they
those
were
Mickey
in the
cartoons
cartoons.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
literally
yeah.
created them in real life,
Yeah.
and that was kind of mind blowing.
I think this is going to be a real,
Well, there's
a real game changer.
yeah.
This
Well, they said it's
attraction.
going to be what 2.5D, so you kind of feel you're in 3D, but you're not really.
yeah,
Just
and
me.
no, it's definitely hitting the marks that I think they're trying to. It's just a shame
And-
that we have
and-
to keep waiting and waiting
Yeah.
for it.
And what's
Yeah.
the date on Disneyland's?
Oh,
2022?
Disneyland. I didn't jot it down.
Okay. A while.
But
I think
but
it
and
was
this is
22.
becoming like a Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion. It is rolling out to parks
Everywhere, yeah.
around the world.
Yeah,
it's
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's good for Toontown.
It's a perfect
Toontown.
place for it.
Well, I
It's-
mean, no, it's good for Toontown to keep it from being bulldozed.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too. And I'm just, and I will always miss Great Movie Ride, but I'm so excited at the same time for Runaway Railway.
Okay.
But what happened after Runaway Railway?
We are hopping a boat over to Shanghai Disneyland, and we're
Okay.
going to enter the world of Zootopia. So it's going to be their 8th theme land, and it's where anyone can be anything. And there's going to be shopping.
Can they try anything? Sorry, that's the song from the movie. Stupid joke.
No, sing it for us, please.
I don't have the lung capacity to do it right now.
Come on, Ethel. Belt it out. Anyway, there's going to be, you can tell we're tired. There's dining, there's going to be shopping, there's going to be a new state-of-the-art attraction. That's all they said. And
Yeah.
they showed a still from the film.
Yeah, the international parks was just basically a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
It was cool stuff, but not that much.
But I
especially
guess,
with the,
but I guess Zootopia was like the #1 film in China, so
Okay.
that was one of the reasons they're building it.
it
I'd
was
love
huge,
to see
yeah.
it happen here.
Well,
But
you're
I
not getting that.
won't.
You're not getting that announced. This was
Next
full of updates more
Yes.
than
Yeah.
it was.
announcements.
Yes, it was.
So,
Yeah, it was. That's a good point.
what was the next update?
Hong Kong Disneyland Castle. They have a model of it in
Yeah.
the Imagineering Pavilion here. It's not inspired by one Disney princesses, but 13 heroines.
Lucky 13.
we got
Yeah.
a name for the castle, right?
Walt's favorite number. Yeah, it's called the Castle of Magical Dreams. Ooh. And
They will be had.
and the in many ways. I've heard of some of those little hotels there. And the architecture is inspired by all the princesses they mentioned, like Snow White. Apple is in one of the turrets. Rapunzel's tower is there. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yep.
That castle. It's enormous, and keeping in mind, it would be like as if they dropped Cinderella Castle on
Behind-
Disneyland's
yes.
Main Street.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
I will see it one day.
I will
but
too.
I
I
have
want
no
to see
thoughts
it
on
again.
really.
And we stayed hanging around in Hong Kong because they are getting their Frozen Land, and basically their attraction seems to be a variation on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
But
Yeah.
Essentially.
But it's Wandering Oaken Sliding Sleighs.
Yeah.
Say that real fast a few times after
You
you've had a couple.
Jeez.
After you've had a couple of sakis or something, I don't know what they drink there.
Can
Anyway,
you do an acronym for that? I don't know.
woes.
Swats.
Anyway, after you visit Wandering Oakens, Sven and Olaf take you on a sleigh ride. Anyway, and they're also getting Frozen Ever After.
Yeah, I think Wandering Oaken sounds fun, but it's who knows if I will ever ride it. Who truly knows?
Well, if you're going to see the castle, you're going to see Wandering Oakens.
Yeah, well, I can fly by the castle and look down.
Oh, I see.
Maybe.
Okay.
They're having issues at the airport there, so
Oh, that's true.
one day. But what was after that?
Walt Disney World. They are combining
Finally.
Walt Disney World,
What?
Walt Disney Animation, and Cirque du Soleil for
Yeah.
a great new extravaganza.
It still has no name.
Right.
Yeah, I thought
It's-
that's what we were gonna
But
be
it's
told today.
it's a whole new show. I would go see this. It's inspired by Disney Animation, and they worked with they learned all about. They were inspired by a biography about Walt. And then, as they said, "Ooh, we should do a show on Disney Animation." Well, as luck would have it, Disney contacted them and said, "Hey, we'd like you to do a show about Disney Animation." So they completely immersed themselves in animation. They visited theme parks, the Walt Disney Family Museum, the archives, the Animation Research Library, and they bumped into one of the last of the hand-drawn animators, Eric Goldberg, and they worked with him to create brand new animation and the characters, and they're going to interact with the live performers.
Yeah, which sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to pull it off.
And they're going to have new music for this Cirque show, but it's going to incorporate Disney music as well.
Yes. Yeah. No.
So-
The themes will kind of interweave together, which I like that. I always like when it's just like kind of subtle nods to
Yeah.
music. You know, whether it's movies or whatever it has you. But what was the story with it again? Because I have paid attention to it. I know there's a girl
Yeah.
and
Did-
she has a dad,
did-
and that's it.
The Disney characters are central to this little girl's life whose father's a Disney animator. So he finds a way to send her on a magical journey of self-discovery.
There you go.
That's it.
Listen, I will say I didn't do Cirque du Soleil that often as a Florida local, but we would go and do it not regularly, but we did a handful of times when I would travel to Florida, from Pennsylvania, and I love Cirque du Soleil, and I think when it's in its own theater and it's a solid show, I think it's always very entertaining. So I think it's once it opens up at Disney, having the Disney connection to it now, I think it's going to be running for years
long
and years
time.
and years.
It
I
just
think
seems
this will
like
be
it's
popular.
taking a lawful long time to get this production off.
It
Off
sounds
the
like it's
ground.
going to be a very complex
Yeah.
production.
But still, you'd think they would have like started it and had it
Yeah.
kind of before they shut the.
I'm sure
shut the other one.
I'm sure the choreography and stuff started way in advance,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it comes down to technically
Yeah,
upgrading
changing
that
the
stage.
theater,
And
yeah.
like during the 10th
that- yeah.
anniversary show, we got to see backstage and stuff, and it's an old building.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a new building by any means, so it probably needed a lot of work.
So I think they're going to start previews March 20th, and I think it was April 7th it opened.
17th, I think.
Yes, April
The
17th of
okay.
2020,
Yeah.
but previews start March 20.
20.
Yeah.
pre
So-
2020.
Yep.
Okay.
So set that on your calendars if you're traveling to Walt Disney World in the 2020s. important to know.
Yeah.
So Cirque du Soleil ends. Where do we go next?
Well, this, as Bob Chapek said, we talked to our guests about what do they want and what do they want, and everything they came back to us said we want more ways to access high quality Disney merchandise. But
so we're at Target.
But not everyone has a Disney store in their backyard. So then the CEO of Target came out, and Disney and Target are going to work together to bring the Disney store. Was it Shop in Shop? They called it something goofy like that. And they brought out Bullseye the dog too. I felt sorry for him.
That was about the only interesting part. And it was like, will Bullseye sit and be a good boy? Bullseye sat.
Yeah,
he was a good boy.
He didn't piddle or anything. Anyway, 25 of these stores are going to open by October somewhere, and then the following October there's going to be another 40.
Well, before the following October.
Oh, okay.
During
Well,
that next year.
Yeah, but so by the next October there'll be 40 more. And so it's going to be a new Disney experience for Target.com, where you can order these to pick up or for home delivery.
They look this format looked very similar to the new Disney stores. Or is it? I mean, am I
It just
wrong?
looked like a bunch of wooden shelves to me.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That's what the new Disney stores look
That's
like.
what the new Disney
Yeah,
stores look like.
it's all going for that clean
Yeah.
aesthetic look, and so I
Kind of like Target.
I can appreciate that aspect of it. They're hitting the market for it right now, but I could have cared less about this. That's the bad part of it
Having
being Disney parks experiences and
product,
consumer
yeah.
products.
this
This
but
was a showroom floor announcement.
this is the biggest news though. Target is opening near the Walt Disney World Resort.
Which is weird because there is already like 2 Targets right near the Walt Disney
We
World
can
Resort.
never have enough Targets.
I mean, I agree. I love Target.
And then-
Target is therapy.
And then that's when they brought in Bullseye the Wonder Dog, and then they had we all got when we left a D23 exclusive collectible Target gift card for $10, but one is good for $2,300. They said, and you'll know who gets it. Well, do you know who got it?
No, but I joked with Rhino on the way out that they said you'll know who got it, but deep down I'm assuming they just did like what any parent or mom, I don't know if you guys do it to your kids and stuff, but like my mom, when she sends us gift cards, if it's not the one that has the amount, it's just written on the back with a Sharpie like $50.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming that's what Disney did for this. They just wrote $2,300 on the back with a Sharpie, and like
I thought
you
maybe
know.
balloons would drop like
I
Publishers
need to check my
Clearinghouse.
card.
Anyway, and also there was a gift from
Yes.
Bullseye. Oh, are you gonna model it
I'm
for us?
trying to get it out if I can.
It's unboxing.
fine.
This is Craig's hand modeling debut.
It's an
I don't know how
unbagging.
those work.
And anyway, there's
was
a
the gift
beautiful
card.
gift card. I assume it's rechargeable. and then there's a gift from Bullseye.
Ooh.
It's a collectible, a lovely collectible button.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
so big you can see it on this live stream.
It's appropriate for any occasion. And then there's a pin.
A Marvel Avengers campus pin.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
We'll get to that.
Okay, Target, I'm over it. What else do we have?
Well, then we got into the Disneyland Paris and Disney California immersive lands, starting with Avengers Campus.
Yes, Avengers
Yes.
Campus. So this was where I feel like after that right out the gate with the parade, even though I forgot it, this is where it finally started picking back up speed.
Yeah.
Even though if you've been to D23 Expo this year, which I'm assuming most of you haven't, but for those of us who were there, they went pretty deep in depth in the pavilion. You had to do a lot of reading
Right.
and
There was
really
a lot of
study
reading,
everything,
yeah.
but you already knew a lot about what they were doing with the Avengers Campus if you spent time in the pavilion. So it almost, this was kind of like you don't know about it? Here, we're going to
Yeah.
break it down for
Yeah.
you nice and easily, but there was a big announcement in there too. A really exciting
Yeah.
announcement.
But then they sort of tossed out there, because I guess this is the least important of all of it, was that the Disneyland Art of Marvel at Disneyland Paris, the hotel. And there's going to be more than 300 works of art. There's going to be themed bedrooms, including Spider-Man. I see you sleep in like webbed hammocks. And then there's going to be meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. And it opens next summer.
So
Wait, the big announcement though.
Well, so the attraction is you're shooting webs, and it's Peter Parker's like experiment.
Well, that's
It's
in the
this-
Marvel's campus.
Yeah, it's
Marvel
the
campus.
it's in the Spider-Man attraction. The web is that Peter is there to debut some technology. He's
Yeah.
got his Spider Bot, which if you're familiar with Spider-Man, you've heard of them before. But he is not. They're not quite ready, so they kind of wreak some havoc, and you have to help him web them up along
Yeah.
the way. But the big one was
Right.
the e-ticket announcement, e-ticket
Well,
attraction.
Can we
Well,
just
wait.
talk
Phase
a second about the Doctor Strange non-attraction?
The Sanctum.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
With
that?
a meet and greet, it sounded like.
Yeah,
But a themed
Everybody
area.
laughed during
It's a
that.
little
Did you hear
show,
them
I
laugh?
think, too. Though.
Yeah.
That's not, but because he said you'd be able to be Doctor Strange and Black Panther and started naming all these things. So it sounded to me like it was just a meet and greet area.
If you
into
see
Doctor
if you
Strange.
see the concept art for it, it looks like it's a small amphitheater.
I'm assuming
Kind of thing.
so. On Disney Cruise Line during the Marvel Days at Sea,
Okay.
they do have a Doctor
show.
Strange
Okay.
show where they really do open up the they do
Right.
all of everything that they do in Doctor Strange, and it goes through that. So I'm assuming it'll be kind of a blend of what they've already started to do with that, mixed with whatever else they're going to do
Okay.
in this little level. So I think it's cool that they have it. I'm really excited about the PIM test kitchen. So
Oh,
But
yeah.
noting,
make things big and small.
yeah, making things big and small. So
Well, yesterday when I was in the campus area, I realized I was staring at where it said microbrewery, and I was like, I just
There is a
got
microbrewery.
that
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
I did not. I was like, oh yeah, cool, a microbrewery. But I was like, because he's Ant-Man and he gets
It's a
small. Got it.
listen,
and
as,
Iron Man will be there.
as long
Oh, the Iron Man meet and greet?
Iron Man
I love that 3000.
as
There's
long
a-
as the beers aren't micro sized,
Yeah.
and then the French fries are like giant, then I'm okay with it.
But they brought out Scott Drake, who's the creative executive, and he talked about, though, there's a whole story that connects all three of the campuses at Hong Kong, Disneyland Paris that's going to be built, and Disney
Is the
California
average
Adventure.
tourist going to care
I think
No.
they're.
about
I think
that?
what they're doing is laying the groundwork for the future generation of Disney fans that will the fad will become to go to every Disney park in the world. So I think
Yeah.
they're laying some
Okay.
groundwork there for that.
So it started with the opening of the Ant-Man and the Wasp attraction in Hong Kong Disneyland, where Hydra attacks the campus and attacks the superheroes, and so the stories continued in the other parks. So, but they didn't get into how. But yeah, then there's Web, and that's the story you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
So yeah, Web, and then also, like we said, Pym was in there, and we mentioned the Sanctum. So
No.
A California
Phase 2.
Mystic
yeah,
Sanctum.
but that's all phase 1 with California, and that's the most important thing there.
And that's
but
opening when?
next year.
next year.
Next year, okay.
And then phase 2 will be the
Amazing.
big e-ticket Avengers attraction.
Yeah, and there guests will step aboard a Quinjet and they'll fly to Wakanda and beyond. But of course, things go horribly wrong, and guests will have to step up and suit up, and they're going to encounter a new villain, and they'll become part of the adventure and in their new suit.
I'm sold on this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
Is that the fire alarm to this hotel?
It is.
Nice.
It's the Quinjet.
Remember when I said it smelled like fire downstairs?
You did say that.
That was about an hour ago. All right, that's great.
Do we
So
call?
I'm not quite sure what we do
Tune
in
in,
this
tune in
situation.
for part 2. Oh,
Okay,
wait,
it's off.
okay.
It's off.
Well, one, we don't use an elevator, we use the stairs, but I
I
don't know where they
think
are.
that was Hydra attacking.
Yeah.
someone's-
So a whole new ride system.
I'm sorry, that was the most distracting thing that we've had encounter us here. Yes, a
Yes.
whole new ride system. And then I think that was my computer now too.
Sure
This
was.
is just all going off all over the place here. But yeah, no, bringing the Avengers in a big way, and the concept artwork again. I wish we had it to show you guys with this, but it gave me chills looking
Yeah.
at it. It's going to be an epic.
Marvelous.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Oh, wait,
marvelous,
we
epic
can't say
attraction.
that word. Sorry.
You can
No.
say marvelous. That's a regular
Okay,
word. You
okay.
can't say marvel.
Marvel, okay.
It's going to be a land filled with marvels. Yes.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, no.
Getting around the log.
Oh no, I wrote that in a description for the video on YouTube, so I was proud of myself. Hire
As
me,
well
Disney.
you
I'm
should.
proud of you too. So
Meow. Meow.
I can't wait for this e-ticket. I'm sure Spider-Man will be great. I'm sure everything they do
don't
in
know
Phase
him
1 will
anymore.
be great. I just want to get to Phase 2.
Yeah.
I want this
Yeah.
Let's
attraction.
hope they build it, because think of how many things they announced 2 years ago. Not happened.
That is true. That is true. But okay, what do we have after?
We're flying off to Epcot.
Here we go.
The magic of possibility. So, and then they got into Bob Chapek said there's a lot to love about the current park, but people want more for.
Oh, what in
I
the
think
world?
we're going to end up having to evacuate this hotel at some point.
I'm not sure because that's a weird alarm. Our fire alarm. Well, I guess our fire alarm is different. This is ridiculous. And
It's the magic of live streaming.
and everyone just asked after the first time that this happened. They're like, I love how they just all sat there.
Wait, there's an earthquake? Okay.
Oh my god.
Should we call the desk and say, do we need to leave?
No, because they're probably getting 300. This is the.
Nah.
I know, but I don't.
Well, I don't want to
burn
stay in the
death.
5th floor if
Yeah.
the other 4 floors are on fire below me.
They should get not in the 13th. I mean.
What?
14th. Sorry, 14th
True.
floor.
Yeah, I'm. We'll give this 2 more seconds, and then I'm
Maybe
gonna
we should
hang
call
this
the
one
front
up.
desk. Somebody should call the front desk.
Yeah, really, Tom, pick up the phone, call the front desk.
Okay. Yeah, this does not seem to be ending this
Yeah,
time
no,
around. So I apologize for this. We will pick up the stream.
We'll come back later, right?
We'll pick up the stream as soon as we know what the heck is going on. So just keep an eye out for us here. Again, I am so sorry about this. We will be back in hopefully soon here. So we'll see ya.
I had 3 videos left. Oh, sorry.